Hello and welcome to another episode of the weekly live stream where I code some bugs, fix some bugs, maybe we do some cool graphics, and hopefully have interesting conversation. If you guys are online, say hi. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get started. Let's see. We want to, of course, thank the patrons. Whoops. Thank you, patrons. Again, teamwork makes the dream work, and coming up on the time of year where I have lots of server expenses coming up, so it's really great. Thanks, guys. It also is just nice to look at the list and see people still care. So thanks a lot, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Nice, cool. And I'm running on the lower latency version again, so hopefully the chat will be a little snappier and only a few seconds delayed, and hopefully the quality is not too bad on the other stuff. Yeah. So here's what I did sort of after last week's live stream. So we've got like some basic pumpkins. Also, if you look, she's wearing some chainmail, which I think is cool because it's kind of sparkly. As she moves around, it kind of sparkles. Anyway, I think it's cool. So I played with them. I've got their basic collision shape, not a sphere collision shape yet. That'll come later. And I made sure that they obscure, like if you had a bunch of them in a area, then it gets darker underneath, because I was trying to figure out why the ground wasn't darker underneath them, and it's just because the sunlight penetrates under. That's probably a larger issue I'll have to worry about someday when I'm worried about beautifying things, is that when non-square blocks are sitting right on something else, it should be shadowed underneath. But anyway, we've got pumpkins in, so I think for the first thing I'm going to do, we'll make some self-illuminating versions that are jack-o'-lanterns and have cool faces on one or two sides. And so that's what we'll do next, because there'll be some more of what we did last week, just a little extended. So here is the sort of side. I need to do this so that I can still see the chat. So this is the top I made in various layers, but for today we'll be messing with the side. And we had our bumps before. Right, this is the bumps I used. Yeah, I don't remember which normals I actually used, but I think my general settings for the normal these days are 2 for the blur, 50% for the scale, and then 70% for the high or something like that. So I need to start labeling my layers with that. Anyways, so let us start by making a new layer where we'll put our jack-o'-lantern face. And what do you suppose the odds are that there is already one? Let's see. I think probably not, but you never know. Sometimes there's either way, we'll make something do. I don't want to spend too much time drawing the face. Eventually I want, like we can customize clothing, I want to be able to customize things like this, where you could put etches in the wall and stuff like that, using a similar system that I used for clothing. No, it does not appear. Do we have at least a moon shape? Problem is I get to talking and skimming and then not looking closely at the things. Apparently I cannot do that at the same time. There should be a moon in here somewhere, I think. Yep. Okay, so that's kind of an ugly moon. That's not really what I wanted. Okay, so we'll go with the old-fashioned way, cancel. So first we'll do, whoops, parametric shape, 3 sides, and so we'll make an eye, right? And yeah, let's give it a little bitty a little bit of a slant, right? That's not where I want it, but that, because I really want it like here, probably. Well, this gets stretched in a weird way, so we're gonna have to see. So let's duplicate that and flip it horizontally and move it over here. Doesn't have to be exact. Let's make another one. This one should be in the center. Yeah, so that'll help me center the other ones. So about a pointer's width on that side. And about a pointer's width on that side. We're pretty good. Alright, and so now we need the mouth. Actually, I'm going to move all these guys up because yeah, see, this guy was centered because it told me so. And these guys then are not, because this looks way closer than that to me. So, okay, that's good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. People who carve pumpkins aren't making them perfect anyway. And so now we need a mouth, and I think for that I'm going to use a different technique where we'll go like this and start with like that and fill. Oh, he's yelling. Oh, just give me a sec. There we go. We've got a mouth shape, and now we will make some cutouts in there. Let's move that up a little bit. There we go. Now we want to yeah, make some triangles that for teeth or something. Let's do squares. Right, so we will what do I want to do? I think we'll make a new layer. I hadn't really thought this through. Okay, so then we can, so we've got like a tooth we can mess with, and first of all let's duplicate this layer and move it over, and then we will transform that, rotate, let's zoom in. So we will rotate him, what is that, minus 17 degrees, which means we will come over here, duplicate him, move it, rotate him, degrees work. Okay. Alright, so we got like a we're getting there. So we got like this guy down here, and crap, that's not what I wanted. I want to duplicate the layer. And we'll freehand this a little bit. I'm trying to get rid of some of the symmetry now. So create that one there. I like it. And then maybe even move it up. Then this one. Okay, and I can, of course, come back and mess with this later, but I think that's probably good enough for now. And now that we've got the black, I hope you are well too, Frammy. Kind of feel like you guys can't see this, but I'm using old-fashioned fingers to kind of measure, put my fingers on the screen to measure the distance of these. Yeah, so this guy over here is too far over by my finger measurements. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, yeah, so this is lined up. Well, what the problem is that I need to merge all these down into one layer. Boink, boink. And then I can see what's centered. There we go. So he's vertically, he's lined up. Yeah, so that is too far over for some reason. Okay, so close enough. Okay, I get kind of obsessed over this sort of thing. I think we want to go ahead and rasterize these. Everything else I want to do, I believe that I can do with the black. Oops. Mouth. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time. Not mouth. Mouth. Okay, and so for a second, yeah, see. What I want to do is create a merged version. I'm going to keep the original ones around just in case. Whoops. Yeah, for some reason, Photopia will occasionally do that. It will somehow dirty up the buffer. Hope you guys can hear me okay. Alright, so let's paste, and then we can, now we have a face layer. Face, we'll get rid of these, and I want to, I'm trying to decide but I think, okay, magic wand will be good. I think if I do this and then paint out the dirt, so that's not going to be a good background. Actually, so here's my concern, right? There's a little bit of the orange in there, and I don't think I want that, but perhaps at this resolution it's good enough, because if I went back to 100%, like, it just disappears. But the problem is that I'm going to be using this as the basis for, you know what I can do, is I can select pixels, create a new layer, and fill it with black. Edit, fill, foreground. So now we should have a purely black version. Yep. Alright. Good enough, good enough, good enough. Okay. And so see, that'd be like this. Oh, it's kind of ugly. Was this one like that too? No, see, this one's better. Okay, so let's delete this one. Right idea, wrong execution. So what we'll do is we will boink, 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 boink. Okay, we'll make sure anti-alias, new layer, fill it black. I made a new layer, I want to paint it black. Okay, now see, it did the same thing. I wanted to select the... Okay, well, I will keep this for now, even though the reason that it's in good shape is because of that orange. And why won't it let me select... I think I can select color. Fuzziness, place, yeah, that's okay. Alright, I'm getting too wrapped up in the weeds here, because technically, in fact, I could just take the whole thing, do like I did before and blur it a little probably. Alright, so we'll just use this one. I'll make a duplicate for now, and what we can do actually is maybe... See, the thing is, that's not transparency, that's orange. Okay, I'm sorry guys, I'm getting too wrapped up in the weeds. The thing is, I need kind of a pure version to do the next things I want to do. So for this, what we're going to do next is create the backlighting layer that we will export as the emission map. So we will call this emission. And okay, let's go ahead and do this because we want to see what it looks like. And blending options. And what I think I want to do here is have a gradient overlay that is radial and reverse. And what we will do is we will change this to like a orange, like a bright yellow orange. I think that will work. I think maybe more orange than that. I think this is why it's annoying to watch someone like me who, like, I'm not an experienced artist, but I have enough experience that I have I know what I want, and so I don't always get it. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll make this nice. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll make this more orange. Thing is, the colors always get like prettied up a little bit more in actual Mythruna. Like for some reason, there's something about my lighting and camera. Okay, cool. Cool. Um, for some reason, whatever I do in here, it always looks prettier in the game, which I think is a good thing. Okay, so this, I think for this we want a more yellow color. That'll be kind of like the highlight in the middle. But why isn't it? Oh, because we need lighten. That also didn't do what I wanted. Let's turn this one off for a second. Let's see what we're doing here. Yeah, see, I wanted kind of a... Maybe I've got it backwards. How do... See, I've got these little... I don't know what these little arrows are for. But yeah, I think I've got this backwards. Like, yeah, so these are the bottoms, and then it goes up. So... And actually, I think what I want first... Oh, maybe it's not. It's... So it's these, and then everything gets laid on top. And for some reason, I thought I could control the order. Like, I thought that's what this guy was for. But apparently you can't. And so... I think I will turn this off. And what do I want to do? I want to duplicate this again. Emission background. Okay, so let's get rid of this for a second. Blending option, we're just do color overlay. I want this to be the color of the inside of the pumpkin. So probably a darker orange-ish red color. Yeah. I think that's good. Maybe a bit darker than that. Okay. So that, normal, good, all good. Okay, this, we've come through. I really thought, okay, so yeah, I definitely have these backwards. In which case, I really want to sample that color. Type, can I... I think I can add it to my palette. That's a Photoshop thing, I guess. Yeah, cancel. No, I want to go back to what I had. Right, I'm being too precious with the colors because this is backwards, I think. So this one is the one that should be orange, and this is the one that should be the 196%. So I'll make this orange. Alright, and we'll make it 196%. Okay. And we'll make this one, I think maybe multiply's bad. Screen. Yeah. Thing is, okay, so the whole blending options on this needs to be not as screen. Yeah, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. So that's that. And then, so that's the inside of the pumpkin, and I think maybe a little more red in this. Yeah. Okay. And then this one will bring back, and this one will set back to like that. Maybe a bit like that. There we go. And we'll make this one candle colored. Okay, and then we'll cut back the, well, turn it on to screen lighten. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. That's what we're talking about. And I think we can offset it even to be a little below the nose. I think that's better because really the candle would be in the bottom of the pumpkin. So yeah, okay. So if I turn this off, this is our emission layer basically. I'm going to leave them separate for the moment. Okay, so next we want to work on the part that's going to chip away at our bump map. So we'll come here, we'll bring the bumps in, bring this guy in. And so right there, that would be a pretty decent bump map because this is basically going to say, well, we want it to be black and white first of all. So actually, whatever, it's going to work out. So this will be pretty decent, but I know from experience that you kind of want a bit of a buffer for the if you're actually going to do parallax, you want a little bit to be the edge. And so we will well, first of all, let me name the layer face bumps, and we will put a bevel and emboss on the outside. I don't think that's going to do what I want. I think I want an outer glow. Yeah. And instead of doing, like light, we'll do, something like this. And we won't make it screen. We'll make it multiply. Yeah. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So we just want a bit of a... I've been doing good. How have you been doing? And I think we want it a little bigger maybe, but not as soft. How can I make precise? There we go. Have any of you been working on anything interesting lately? Multiply, opacity. Alright, maybe let's bring the size back down a little bit. Thing is, like, this is not the real size of the map. Nice. That's nice. Cool. Alright, so now that we've got this, we've got our bumps. I don't like the fact that there are orange in there. Maybe I can... Maybe the paint bucket can fix that. Ooh, bad, bad, bad. I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to mess with this too much longer because we're already halfway through the live stream and I had other things I wanted to do. So... Cool. Duplicate layer, and then this will be our bump layer. Oh, we want actually, no, this will be the normal layer. We want a combined bump layer, duplicate layer, nice. Working with students can be fun. So let's get rid of this. We don't want this one. I want this back. I want to combine these two layers. Those are face bumps. Perfect, it kept the right name. And so now, like if I turn everything else off, this is the layer on its own. We'll duplicate the layer. We'll call this face normals. Nice. Mythruna hooking up people in the community. All right. Filter 3D. Normal map, as I said, I believe 2. 50. 70. And I'm going to call it... Oh, look at that. That's pretty. And as I said, I'm going to 250, 70. Start labeling my... Okay, so now I should be able to export these things. I want to make a combined... No, color is fine. We keep this existing color. Maybe. No, I kind of feel like we need one color that's like that. Okay, so I'm gonna... Oops. Okay. Face, blah, blah, blah. Press Control-Shift-C, Control-V. Okay, so we've got face colors. Let's do a combined emission. Base emission. Alright, so there's our emission map. There's our face colors. There's our face bumps. There's our face normals. Okay, so we will save this so we don't lose it. And that is not the right place. Source, main resources, textures. Save it. Badoink. Okay. Now we will export all these different things. Export as PNG. Pumpkin. So these are, we'll call it pumpkin face normals. Save. Save. Okay. Turn this off. Export as PNG. Pumpkin face bumps. Save. Save. Then we come here. Say export as PNG. Pumpkin face. Pumpkin face. Okay. And then the emission. Export as PNG. Pumpkin face light, we'll call it. Alright, save. So far I've had it handle some pretty large files. I keep meaning to actually cancel my Photoshop subscription because I pay $9 a month or $10 a month for Photoshop, and I haven't used it. At some point they stopped letting me use it on Windows 7, and that's the box I had it set up on, and so I just haven't bothered to mess with that. And I keep meaning to cancel it because so far Photopea or Photopia or whatever, how you want to pronounce it, has been doing the job for me pretty well. And I actually kind of like its normal map generator better. It's simpler, has fewer options, but I'm less likely to screw up my thing too. I don't know. Like, I haven't really dove into, like in Photoshop I used to make lots of custom actions, but I haven't really had to do that. I haven't had any mass conversions that I've been doing that required it. So perhaps when I get to, you know, redoing all the textures and doing beautification, I'll want some more power. But so far, I was able to make that my fur texture. Let me open that up. Is that under here, or is it main resources? Yes, that's going to be under model set. Source, main, resources, fabric. Where's my fur? There it is, fur, PNG. All right, let's look fur. So this actually is a really big PSD file. Yeah, I mean, this is all JavaScript, or, well, it's effectively JavaScript, right? But yeah, so I made this fur texture in here, and this required, you know, I have a bunch of layers and that I left behind. I basically took pictures of my dog and then used it to, the reason it looks like blocky is because this is for the clothing in the game. So like this is the front part of the player, this is the back part of the player, and this is, you know, left arm, right arm, and you know, shoes, and the bottom of the feet. So you can actually cover your whole player in fur. It's kind of cool. Anyway, but yeah, I'm really happy with this, and of course I paid for it, so I don't have to see the ads over here all the time. Totally worth it in my opinion. Highly recommend. Yeah, so this was my bug fixing stuff. Yeah, so I got the Mythruna server up and running. I didn't get it up and running last weekend like I had planned because the UPS was giving me trouble. Yeah, and like some of those layers, yeah, it's crazy. Some of those layers are, you know, real photo images that I've shrunk down, and they've still got their original resolution, or at least they did before I saved it. Anyway, so I got the server up and running, and I tried to connect to it, and it failed, and it's because of the fabric stuff. And so then I had to, like, there's a bad software development practice where you use singletons, and Mythruna's block types are like that. Basically, it's a class with a bunch of static methods on it to resolve, you know, an integer to a particular block type object that lets you paint it or learn what its transparency is, all that other stuff. I did the same thing with fabric because, you know, that's sort of the pattern that I was used to. But it's really painful because you get these situations where stuff is working magically because, you know, the world generator or the world manager initialized all that stuff as part of its setup, and then you go into client server mode and that stuff gets initialized on the server, and then it's not available on the client, and you go, oh, that was data I had to transfer. Whereas probably if I'd had a real sort of context / environment object that I was passing around for that stuff, it would have been more obvious right away because I would have had to find a way to pass it around. At any rate, I did fix it. I spent like 3 hours this morning tracking down a quote-unquote bug that turned out to be just a channel problem. The messages were blocking other messages and so on because it got to go over the network. Anyway, let's not delve too down. That was the bug I was going to finish fixing and kind of go over, but let's finish the... So first we have to go and make a material. Source, main, resources. I think it's shaper. Materials.json, yes. Okay, so we've got the pumpkin sides, and I'm going to cut and paste this. Here, not here. Here, yeah. So let's make it pumpkin face. No, I'm not sure. We occasionally do get new a bunch of new faces all of a sudden, and I have not been able to predict exactly why that happens. Face normals, face bumps. We'll do it without the emissions for a moment. Alright, so pumpkin face, pumpkin face. Okay, so I should be able to run the shaper. Okay. Hopefully I got the materials right. Alright, so let's find our pumpkin, because that'll be a good place to start. Okay, there's our pumpkin. Oh, let me change the background to dirt instead of... Okay, so we've got our little pumpkin there. And so I'm going to copy this. Can I copy it? I can create a reskin. New base. Jack-o'-lantern. Let's call it Jack. Oh, does it? Okay, Jack-o'-lantern. So we're going to place pumpkin sides with pumpkin sides. And we're going to place pumpkin top with pumpkin top, because I don't want all of the sides changed. Okay, so now we've got a new Jack-o'-lantern sphere. And we will take, I think, what do I want it to be based south? Yeah, ramps are based south, so the north, so we'll put the face on the south. Actually, there is no, so I think it goes north, east, south, so pumpkin sides, pumpkin face. Yeah, check it out! Check it out. And so this is what I was talking about, putting the buffer in there. So as you move around, you see it's got the bump map, so you can see that little side disappear. Yeah, it's like magic. Okay, so now I need to set up the emissions, but we'll do that in a second. I kind of wish, actually, even though I think that the distortion of the texture map, because of how the sphere is distorted and it doesn't correct for those texture corners, I think it actually creates a little bit of extra personality, so I'm going to leave it. Because I actually kind of like the fact that the eyes come in a little bit. I think, yeah, it gives the face a lot more. Like, if we remember over here, let's take this off. Yeah, not this. We want face, right? So this face, I think this face looks better, just because of the twisting of the. I think it makes it look more, Jack Skellington kind of Halloween-y than this sort of simplified. And so sometimes, that's a lesson to take away. The medium with which you transform the things will affect the final product, and so sometimes you can't always predict how the final thing is going to look. So this looked more cartoon-like, and then in here it looks more Halloween to me. I just like it. All right, so we've got this. Let's go ahead and save it. Oh, and so the other thing is, instead of putting faces on all the sides, I'll call this rotation 0. I will eventually put the game on Steam. I'm just not ready for that kind of attention yet. I want to actually have gameplay first. That's kind of, I want to get to what I call pre-alpha before I even consider putting it up, and that'll be most of the, at least a hint of the game mechanics will be in. I think I require users to kind of do too much imagination at this point, and I want to have a proper launcher, a proper thing that auto updates with new code and so on and so forth. And right now I'm just trying to get gameplay in. I'm taking a bit of a break. I'm using Halloween as an excuse to get, like I used. Yeah, I agree with you. So I've been using Halloween as an excuse to get the costuming and stuff in, and so I did that last time, and then now I'm trying to see how many different, at least stand-in race models I can get for dwarves and elves, and at least male and female. Maybe configure some skin color and hair color and stuff so that we can have a proper Halloween party, in 4 or 5 weeks, whenever that is. Okay, so we got this. I gave it rotation 0, which means I can come up here and I can say create rotations. And so if I did that right, then I've got jack-o'-lantern sphere 0, jack-o'-lantern sphere 1, yep, jack-o'-lantern sphere 2, and jack-o'-lantern sphere 3. Let's race. Oh, races, yeah. I get you. Okay, so we've got all those different guys. And so now I should be able to say save blocks. We won't compile materials yet. I want to do the emission map, and we'll load this back up. Okay. I think there is definitely a material that has emissions in it. Or maybe I called it emissive. Yeah, emissive color. Do I not support an emission map? Let us go look. It's possible that I don't support. So I'd be over here in block world, mblock open source stuff, source main resources, mat defs. I didn't realize that this was going to take me the whole time to do this. I thought, paint a pumpkin face. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you joined. Let me make sure. Is there an emissive map? Yes, there is. Okay, cool. So we can set emissive map. And let's come down here, materials. Back down here to the pumpkin face. Pumpkin face. Let's... So what I will do is cut and paste all this stuff. Change this, then change this to pumpkin face light. All of which is true. Let's try it, see if it works. Okay, I've done something wrong. Oh, had an extra, yeah. JSON, and I have an extra one of these too. JSON is very picky, as it should be. But eventually I want an editor for the materials as well, instead of having hand jam JSON. Okay, so let's check our jack-o'-lantern. I wonder if I didn't implement... Alright. I am not going to try to fix that on this live stream. But that's the next thing I will do tonight, is get that. But what we also have to do is set up the lighting for this guy. Like, I think what I want to do is use the... Basically, so the cube, or the block itself, self-lights the world. And so I think I'll use the same lighting setup as the small flame. I know why. I think I know why emission's not working. It's because I never set an emission value. So I might be able to make that work. Where is fire? I need kind of a search function here. There's enough block types now that finding things becomes difficult. Flame. Okay, so flame small has 433 as its emission, which is basically out of 16 or 15 rather, because it goes like 0 through F. So it's a little more red than it is green and blue. That gives it this color. Okay, so come back. So 433. And we'll need to do that for all of these because I didn't do that before I 430. Whoops. 4 I think I have to give it an emission color first. Okay. What's going on here, guys? Okay. Four, 3, 3. Okay. And what I'll do is instead of doing that goat rope for all of the other ones, I'll go through here and I'll delete these other 3 rotations, and then I'll recreate the rotations. So now they should all have it. If I flip over to this one, so it should be self-illuminating, and it's hard to tell in this particular lighting. If I go over here to the environment and turn down sun strength, it's supposed to be self-illuminating. It could be that I have to get it to relight. Anyway, that could be just a bug in this particular tool. So I'm going to save this, save the blocks, compile the blocks, compile the materials, and we'll see. Let's change one more thing here. Let's go down here and set the emissive color, because I think that's why. We'll try that once. So I think that's why the I think it combines the two, and it was set to 0. So come on, we want to see this be light looking, and we want to put it in the game and see it light up the darkness, right? Before we end. Okay, so jack-o'-lantern. Oh no. That's bad. Texture. Let me find compatible overload function. Alright, so I will take this out for now. And I will fix that offline. And since we're not changing that, we can just go ahead and run the game, because I already saved and compiled the binaries. So we ought to be able to. It will automatically upgrade our block sets, and so we should have the pumpkin now, or a jack-o'-lantern. And it should rotate with the mouse wheel too, so. Okay, so okay, so let's load up our little thing and find the jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern. Select. Okay, so we've got our jack-o'-lantern, and yep, we can rotate it around with the mouse wheel. So I can come and, like, if I want to place a couple outside this little tower here, I can put one there and one there. Ta-da! And I think that it is lighting up. I think I saw the lighting change slightly. But to be sure, let's go someplace I haven't already put lights. Okay, so this one has a lot of lighting in it. Let's make a cave. Actually, I think I have a cave. Alright. I don't want to go too far from my little test area here. So let's make a cave. Boink. Come on, fall down. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. Yep, okay, so it lit up the corner there. Nice. Okay, and that means that if we have these around, like those there, and let's see, we put some outside this little house here because they're getting ready for Halloween too, maybe. And over here, they've already got lights outside. So now if we go and I manually change the time, so they are sort of, you guys can't see this, but I bet, so they are lighting up the area, but because their mission is not working, they look kind of lame in the dark. But you can see here they've kind of tainted that green light orange. I so wish the eyes and the mouth were working. Let's take, okay, we're kind of at the end of the live stream, but let's take a minute to see if I can figure out why that is failing. Because wouldn't it be cool to have that working? And so let's go back. Gradle run shaper. Come on, we want to see the glowing eyes and mouth, right? None of this dark black mouth and eyes. We want to see a proper jack-o'-lantern. I may need to make a lit one and an unlit one. All right, so boy, there's lots of logging. So if I come down here and pick this one, it's going to fail. And we get to see why. Because of line, what did it say, 652? Yep. So something I've done wrong that only happens if both of those things are set. So if it has an emissive map and an emissive color, and yeah, what am I doing? 652, emissive color, new text chord. What have I done wrong? Okay, so that takes a... I wonder if the... Wait. Oh, emissive map. It's acting like I'm passing a vec4, so I think that emissive map is not set to the right thing. So let's drill into that for 1 second. So we've got an emissive map, and we have a separate emissive color. And in the frag file, emiss. So that's a vec. Aha! I guess I never checked it. Okay, so then we want to go over here. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. I hope this works. Y files is about to start stream. What is Y files? Like literally, this is, I'm checking this right now. What is Y files? Sounds cool. All right, let's see. Is it gonna work? 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 Yes! Okay, so we've got light coming out of the thing. It's not as bright as I wanted, maybe, but okay, so let's check this. We should be able to say compile materials, but I'm gonna compile blocks just in case. Let's see what it looks like in the dark. Yeah, sometimes when I say I'm close and what's he eating? Not eating anything. It's his internal light. I think I am going to make them brighter. Not just, I'm not talking about the face brightness. That is going to be brighter too. But to cast more light, I think would be better. Yeah, and something's wrong with that too, because ooh, that looked really cool for a second. So let's, yeah, so see, that's the cool thing about the emission, is it's controlled by how much daylight you have. So right now they look dark, and then if we roll forward time, guys, that looks so that exceeds my expectations. I thought I was gonna have to do lots of tweaking, but I kind of like it. Oh my God, check that out. Again, you gotta run things in the game because there's something about the Mythruna color model and lighting that magically makes these things look better, and I can't explain it. In fact, when I first started making the new engine, things didn't look right, and I went and copied some of the magic values from the original Mythruna that did the sky colors and stuff, and suddenly everything looked beautiful. And you know, I spent so many hours tweaking those colors that it feels good that there's just sort of some inherent beauty in sort of the Mythruna environment. But that looks really cool. I'm so stoked about this Halloween. So you guys have to show up for the Halloween party at the end of October. Basically, this live stream, I think, is if I can do it on that Friday, I will. It'll be sometime that weekend. We'll do a live stream, and everybody will log into the server with our costumes and stuff. Yeah, I'm still using JME. This is JMonkey Engine. Absolutely. But, you know, Mythruna heavily customizes. The lighting changes throughout the day. And that is a heavily tweaked model to control the fog colors and lighting colors and ambient colors at different times of day. You know, hand tweaked over many years of the original Mythruna just to get it just right, so that you get these, you know, sort of cool vistas where you've got the sun just peeking over. You know, so yeah, new engine, new Mythruna engine. Mythruna builds so much on top of JME that I just consider it kind of its own engine. Anyway, thanks guys. This is great. I hope you guys can join me for Halloween at the end of October. I'm gonna get these fixes out probably tomorrow, and I'll put an announcement on the Discord on Sunday or Saturday night or something, and then we can start logging into the server and you guys can make your costumes and stuff. I'm going to try to get the clothing import working, just in case, and then roll this out tomorrow, and then we'll have jack-o'-lanterns in there too, which would be kind of cool. And these will be available for making your own custom objects as well. They're going to be available in the blueprint editor. That should be kind of neat too, little teeny pumpkins. So anyway, thanks for joining. It's been great. I think this is. I'm really pleased with. It took me all the full time to get the jack-o'-lanterns working, but I think they look great. Thanks for hanging around for the ride. If you don't always join, thanks for joining, and thanks everyone for joining. Streams are made by the people who join, and if you're a patron, definitely thank you as well. And I will see you next time when we do this again. Keep an eye out for the new release this weekend. And I hope if you guys are working on something that you have a very productive weekend as well. And see you next time.